All right, well today we have this black MacBook. Received this for basically nothing. I'm told that it had severe liquid damage on one side. Looking in the ports here, let me get another light on. Looking in the ports here, I can definitely see a lot of water damage in there. Corrosion, USBs, firewire port. Ethernet port doesn't look too bad. Charging port looks okay. And the display port, it's got some, but it's not terrible. So I agree with the assessment of heavy water damage. Also, I received it with no screws in it, so clearly it's been apart before. But let's go ahead and finish taking it apart and make sure all the screws are in fact out. And they are. Yeah, so let's go ahead and finish taking it apart and see what we can see inside. I haven't taken apart one of these MacBooks in a while. I think they're pretty easy to get into once you know what you're doing, which at one point I did, but it's been a while, like I said. Make sure there's no screws here. There are not. And these keyboard shells pretty much are interchangeable, so we could replace it. I've got a stack of parts for MacBooks like these, but no, yeah, this one is quite liquid damaged. So I think what we'll want to do here is probably just replace the board. I don't think this one's going to be salvageable. Let's take the RAM out, take a look at that. A little bit of corrosion here. Might be okay. 2 gig. Same with this one. This one's got a little bit more corrosion on it, but it's also 2 gigs. This one might not be so good. I guess it depends if power was applied to the system or not when it was in this state. But yeah, it's a mess in here. You can see the corrosion all over the heatsink by the heat pipe. Wireless card, quite corroded. So they were not joking. So no point in even trying to power this one up. I don't think we're going to get much out of it. But let's get the board out of here and see what we can do. But nothing indicating that the display would be broken. So if we can clean some of this out, might be able to put a replacement board in here and get it booting. We'll have to try that, I think. In the meantime, I am going to attempt to clean this board. Some isopropyl and a toothbrush. I don't think it's going to go super well, but we'll give it a shot. That is a lot of corrosion. Look at that. Let's just like chip it off of these chips, or off of these connectors, just so much. All right, well, I will give it a clean and I will be back with you. All right, so I got the board here. Looks pretty good at this point. I don't see too much corrosion where it all was. There's a little bit left in between here. I got most of it off of these with the toothbrush. And the bottom side looks perfect, so we'll let it dry off and give it a try. That'll be later. because it needs a while to dry off. We don't want any water in there. Like I said, I'm going to just do a little more touch up here on this one. Use some 99% IPA just to try to clean off the last bit of this goop, and I'll also get the heatsink thermal paste off. So let's install this board into this chassis. Pop that in there. Pop that in there. Now we'll hook the keyboard up. Again, I didn't hook up what I think is the backlight display, or the backlight power. I'm not sure if that is the backlight. I guess I don't know which cord this is. It definitely heads towards the monitor, so it could be. Alright, well, this board is trying to do something. Unfortunately, I picked a MacBook that is not the right model for this one. I don't know if I see anything on here with no backlight or not. Let's shine some direct light on it. And the fan is definitely spinning. I don't think I see anything on the display. Just disconnect and reconnect power. Yeah, the display flickers. So, I think the only thing I've conclusively proven here is that the board is not 100% dead. There might be some life in it. Alright, let's take this keyboard off. Oh yeah, and the heatsink's hot, so it's, well, not hot, it's warm to the touch, so it's definitely attempting to execute something on the processor, which is a good sign of life, I guess. So I'll take the RAM back out. And the RAM does match, so that's good. Alright, well, I guess we will proceed. So let me take the heatsink back off. Alright, so leave this here for now. Set my keyboards to the side. Let's take a look and see how bad this is in here. Well, I'm going to say it's not great. The hinge definitely has some corrosion on it. So let me remove this power connector, because it is certainly very corroded. Yeah. I think probably that needs to go. Luckily, like I said, I've got a box of spares here, so I can replace it. So what I'm going to do is clean this out as best as I can with some isopropyl, and then we'll drop in this board back into here and see if we get any sort of signs of life. Cool spark. Alright, so it's chiming. I definitely see the screen doing something. I don't know if it's just the backlight. The screen's not exactly in the cleanest shape. So if it is the inverter, I would expect there to be a flashing question mark folder in the middle of the screen that we just can't see, because there's no backlight. Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. So I doubt you can see that on camera, but looks like this machine is actually trying its best to boot. Alright, so I've gone ahead and installed Mac OS 10. Let's see, I think it was Lion? Yes. And I haven't messed with the brightness yet. I wanted to do that with you here on the video. So let's give that a try and see where the brightness level is at. Oh, yeah, just all the way down. Let's crank that up. Alright, well, it's not super bright, but definitely usable. Let me turn the lights back on here. Also, the screen here is very filthy, so I think a little cleaning on the screen is going to go a long way with that too. Alright, so the CD drive works, hard drive works, RAM's good, seems like everything's working. We do still have this keyboard that it came with. As you can see, there's a lot of corrosion kind of on this, I don't know, 1/8 of the keyboard. Maybe it's a 1/6 of the keyboard. We can clean it up. I think that's going to clean up no problem, but the question is, does the keyboard still actually work? So let's shut this guy down and give that a try. I'll plug it in and see if it works. Alright, well, we got the keyboard plugged in. Let's give it some power. You can see I've got some of the corrosion on my sleeve now. That's great. Alright, well, it's booting up. It's a good sign that nothing's shorted out, at least. Alright. And the trackpad works. Yeah, we'll use text edit. We'll try all these keys here. Yeah, I would say it looks like everything's working. Cool, cool. Well, then let's shut it down and clean the keyboard off a little bit, and then we can reassemble. Alright, let's check Wi-Fi. Alright, so Wi-Fi is working. It's seeing some of the networks here. That's good. I don't remember if these support anything besides WEP. Let me just give it a try here. Yeah, connection failed, so I think my wireless encryption is too new for these machines, but no worries. Alright, so let's close out of this. Keyboard still works, looks good. Everything seems going okay. So, final step then, let's shut it down and finish the assembly. Alright, so I did also hook a mouse up to it just to test out the USB ports. As you can see, we've got power. Mouse is working just fine there. Let me switch ports. And second port has power, and the mouse moves there as well. So yeah, I think this machine is ready to go. Everything is working. Cosmetically, it's maybe, I don't know, B-. Does have some scuffs and scratches. And of course, it's got this damage here. I'm pretty sure what happened is when someone took this apart, they forgot about this bracket that was in here. either didn't unscrew it, or sometimes this bracket can be kind of sticky, and they just ripped the keyboard top case off there, and it caused this to crack. But again, that's pretty common, as well as these marks here like this from the latches. When they close, they slam down on here. So a lot of machines of this vintage do have damage there. Luckily, this one only has it on the one side. This side looks good here. So as you can see, we've got our water damaged black MacBook back up and running. Everything seems like it's working really well. No issues that I can see whatsoever. And then again, we had that white MacBook that we took apart for some parts, but don't worry, it's still up and running as well. Obviously, it's got some major cosmetic problems here, but you know, overall, it's still a functional machine. Of course, neither of these machines have batteries at this point, but there they are. So I think we'll call this one a video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.